Hi guys, and welcome back to Brad's Whiteboard Chronicles. In this episode we're looking at quadratic equations and we're focusing on plotting quadratic equations on the y and x axes. Pretty much I just want to show you guys the shortcuts and the tricks to plotting these equations. So when you see a quadratic equation and it's in this form here, we're looking at three specific things. The number at the front. This number either makes the curve, the parabola, it either makes it narrow or wide. So the bigger this number here, the narrower it is. So the bigger, narrow, smaller, wider. So the bigger this number, the narrower the curve, the smaller the number, the wider the curve. This number here translates the parabola left or right. So here translates left, right. And this here translates up or down. So if we've got a positive number in here, if it's x plus 3, then we translate it to the left. So in this case here, we'd have a point here translating the parabola with a turning point, specifically looking at the turning point, would be at minus 3, minus 1. Right, so that's where that turning point would be. And then looking here, we know that we'll have a narrow curve. So our parabola would look something like that, with a turning point at minus 3, minus 1. And we know it's a positive curve because there's a plus here. It's a positive number. So if we look at this second equation, we know that we have a half instead of 2. So a half is a smaller number than 2. So in this case here, we're going to have a wider curve. Right? And we also know that it's a negative number. So it's not going to be a positive parabola, it's going to be a negative parabola. So it's going to be shaped like that. So we're going to be finding the turning point. So in this case, x minus 1. So we're translating it over this way. So I'm going to have my turning point at x equals 1, y equals 3. 1, 3. Right, that's going to be my turning point. Right, I know I'm going to have a wider curve because I've got a smaller number than 1 up here. And I know it's going to be a negative parabola because there's a minus number. So I'm going to have something that looks something like that. So here you'll see a narrow curve, number bigger than 1. I'm translating across, translating up and down. So you've got to think of this translation here is inverse. If that's a positive number, we're translating in the negative direction. If that was a negative number, on the other hand, we're translating in the positive direction. However, with this number right here, that translates up and down. So if that's a minus 1, we're translating down. If that's a plus 3, we're translating up. The value in front, the bigger the number, the narrower the curve. The smaller the number, the wider the curve. Positive number, positive parabola. Negative number, negative parabola. So knowing that, what we're going to do now is we're going to complete the square on this equation, get it into this form here, and then plot it. So if I was to complete the square on this equation, that's the same as me writing y equals x squared plus 6x plus 9 minus 9 plus 4, right? So here I can find common factors. So y equals x plus 3, x plus 3, minus 9 plus 4, y equals x plus 3 squared minus 5. Alright, so now you can see I've converted this equation into these forms that we've seen here. So now if I was to plot that, so it's positive, so I know I'm going to have a positive parabola. So y is being translated -5 down, so -5, and because that's positive, I'm being translated in the x to the -3. So -3, 5 is my turning point, and I'll have a positive parabola, so it looks something like that. Now if I wanted to find my x and y-intercepts, to find my y-intercept, I've got to make x equal 0, so y-int make x equal 0, so y equals 0 squared plus 6, 0 plus 4, so y equals 4, so my y-intercept is 0, 4. So if I was to redraw that, something like that, my intercept here is 0, 4. Now, for me to find my two x-intercepts, I need to make y equal 0. So y equals 0, find x int. So 0 equals x plus 3 squared minus 5. So I can manipulate this -5 to make it look like that. So now because I've got squared here and a squared here, I can put all that into a single set of brackets. Right? So then I can say 0 equals x plus 3 minus the square root of 5, and x plus 3 plus the square root of 5. And then I can say so my two x-intercepts are so I've got -3 minus the square root of 5, 0, and then I've got -3 plus the square root of 5, 0, and my two intercepts. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope that was helpful.